What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. This is episode number 86, and we start today's stuff on the back of our big 4-0 victory over Norwich City, keeping Liverpool 9 points behind us in the table and still having the far superior goal difference record over the Reds as well. Martin is returned from injury, bagged a brace as part of that 4-0 victory as well. And speaking of world-class strikers, well, the deal has just gone through and I had to show you his full range of stats. And there he is, Manchester City striker, 24 years old, 6'3", 92 overall. Armando Broja. Yep. Who needs Erling Haaland, Pep Guardiola? Armando Broja. Oh my goodness. Yep, my guy back in Season 1 with Southampton on loan from Chelsea. Unfortunately, after he went to Monaco, we weren't ever going to be able to afford him again. We possibly could have done this season, but he's back in the Premier League from Monaco to Manchester. And he's now going to be their starting striker at the Etihad Stadium. Yeah, as we know, Erling Haaland's deal to Manchester City, well, at the time I'm recording this, has been tipped as being likely to be confirmed within the next few days. You know, in fact, there's a very good chance that by the time this video's gone up, there's a good chance it's either been confirmed or not. But even so, it does seem very likely Haaland is going to be playing at Manchester City next season at the time of recording this commentary. But in the game, I think Pep Guardiola will be alright with a 92 rated Armando Broja. Now, they're a long way off us right now in the race for the title. But of course, we still have to compete with them in other competitions as well. And I guess I'm just frustrated knowing that the only 2 times I faced Armando Broja was back in Season 2 with Southampton. And if you remember, he scored the goal that prevented us from, well, one of the goals that prevented us from getting to the Champions League in Season 3. And also dumped us out of the FA Cup in the semi-finals as well. So the 2 times I faced Broja, he scored against me. And I said it, he's got Arnold Chevalier vibes. For those that have been watching me for a long enough time and know the name Arnold Chevalier, firstly, you know I love you very much, but also it just has that feel to it, you know, it really does. Hero to villain. Even so, for the first game of today's episode on the back of a big thumping victory over Norwich City, taking on Wolves here in the first leg of our Carabao Cup semi-final. Bruno Lage's side now, as we know, are a Champions League team. In the Champions League this season, who of course did get knocked out of the group and they're going to the Europa League. But taking on Bruno Lage's side, I picked a strong lineup for the game. Really want to get to the Carabao Cup final for just the second time of the save, and 45 minutes in, right before the break, we were 2 goals up. And it really is so funny because, you know, this save is all about realism, and I couldn't talk about Dembele and explain how this is so realistic as well. Dembele in this Chelsea team, I mean, let's be honest here, no one has ever doubted the class that Ousmane Dembele shows, moving on from Dortmund to Barcelona, but the questions over Dembele have always been about his consistency and his fitness. You know, can he keep himself free of injuries? And it's so funny how it's been the exact same in this save as well. He's had 1 or 2 injuries during the time he's been here with Chelsea in a year and a half, and he's also been so inconsistent. There are a lot of games where Dembele just goes missing. There are a lot of games like this one, though, where he's absolutely superb. He scored the first 2 goals in the first half. I love the realism of that. And then in the second half, Tammy bags our third to extend our lead as well. For Abraham as well, now that Martinez is back, he's back to a bench striker. But I always know that when I rely on Tammy Abraham, he'll get me a goal. He really is a great squad striker. So leading by 3, 19 minutes to go, a chance to make it 4. Kante coming on the break, doesn't have the pace these days now in his mid-30s. Holds the ball up well though, finds Ben Chilwell, the former Foxtowner, left-hand side, rolls it across, and there is Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who is still here, got the minor contract extension in the summer. And you know, it's so funny because as we make it 4-0 and get a big comprehensive first leg victory, I'd say now for sure, we got 1 leg in the Carabao Cup final. We thrashed Wolves at Molineux 7-1 this season in the Premier League. My biggest win as Chelsea manager thus far. If I play even half as good in that game as I did in this one, there's no doubt about it, I'll be in the Carabao Cup final since for the first time since Season 2. But with Loftus-Cheek, you know, I mentioned in the last episode, I don't really know what to do with the money we've got. The January transfer window is now here. We've got just over 30 million. And when you look at our squad, and I showed you in the very last episode as a whole, I think if we were going to sell 1 player, it would be RLC. I'd say he's probably the most disposable member of our squad right now, because we've got great depth, that's for sure, in all positions, but particularly on the wing and also through the middle as well. You know, don't forget, we've got Mount and Rice who are our regular starters. Then we've got Kante and Thuram. Then we got Billy Gilmore in the resis too. I'd say that Loftus-Cheek is probably the most disposable. At 29 years old, not getting any better, and sub 80 overall as well. With Ruben, he is a solid squad player to have, so if I'm going to sell anyone, it will be Loftus-Cheek. But I'm not sure I need to, really. It's a real dilemma here at the moment of, you know, do we spend the money we've got, maybe make 1 or 2 sales and try and bring in someone with a little bit more class than the player we'll be replacing, or do we just save it for next season and have an even bigger budget? With Chelsea, we know every single season we'll have around a £200 million budget because of the money we've got here and our club reputation and valuation too. But I don't know. I do quite like the idea of making a signing in this January window. I guess the question is, do we really need to? And if so, are we going to sell Loftus-Cheek? At the moment, I'd say he's the only player I consider selling in this Chelsea team. Even so, second game of today's episode, Nottingham Forest away, City ground, taking on the Championship side. Look at this as well. This is crazy, man. You would have seen the last episode against Brighton. We scored a goal just like that one. It's crazy. Deja vu, right? A tackle which deflects past Bryce Samba into the back of his own goal. We're in front by 1, courtesy of the bit of luck there. We'll certainly take it in. Right before the break, a chance to go 2-0 up. Fantastic stop by Bryce Samba, who is such an underrated shot stopper. Keeps it at 1-0, and we're still only leading by a goal. But you would have seen my lineup, though, once again, despite taking on the Championship side, very strong indeed. It was Mason Mount who scored our opener, wearing the armband in this game, and then 8 minutes after the restart, another regular starter bags our second. Kai Havertz bends it in, far corner, makes it 2-0, and we double our lead at the City ground. There's no doubt about it. You know, nowadays in FIFA career mode, I really do rarely throw out fully rotated sides, and I do take the competitions outside the league a lot more seriously than I used to. If you've been watching me for a while, who was Mason Mount almost bagged a third late on hitting the post. When it came down to games like this, where I was heavy favourite against a side in a lower leagues, for example, I'd often, you know, throw out backup sides, maybe have 1 or 2 stars, but for the most part, a totally, if not fully rotated first 11. But now, I think because FIFA has got a lot harder and FIFA CM has got more difficult due to the introduction of Ultimate, and this year in general, this has been the hardest FIFA I've played in a very, very long time. I don't take as many chances now, and I do pick very strong lineups, even in games where I'm firm favourites as well. That game was no exception there. Really, really strong lineup, and we get the job done by 2-0. So through to the 4th round. I also won Manager of the Year. How disappointing was this, though, by the way? There was no graphic for it. It just said I'd been named Manager of the Year after leading Chelsea through an outstanding campaign. Well, yeah, I mean, I won a domestic double last year. You know, we only had 2 losses in the calendar year of 2025. I definitely deserved a Manager of the Year. I'm not going to deny it, especially now in 9 points clear at the top of the Premier League as well, but I thought I'd get a little graphic for it. I was really hoping it would give me like a graphic of like detailed stats over the calendar year. You know, how many wins we had, draws, losses, for example, how many goals we scored, or you know, how many honours I won during that time frame. Of course, that would be 2. You know, well, 3 technically with a Community Shield as well. I didn't get it though. It was just a little image of me, and I was like, well, that's a bit disappointing. I was hoping for like a really cool graphic. You know, you see a player win Player of the Year, and they're holding the the equivalent of what would be the Ballon d'Or, I suppose. I was really hoping I'd get like a Manager of the Year award, getting to present it, because you see that when a player gets like the Player of the Month as well. Like they'll be holding a little award. It's quite disappointing in a manager career mode when you win what would be the most coveted individual award, which is Manager of the Year. There's nothing for it, you know? It's a bit subdued. I really hope in next year's version of FIFA, in future versions, you'll get a little cool little graphic giving you some stats or something, or just in general a little presentation of the award you've won as well. Even so, for the 3rd and final game of today's episode here, is our draw for the 4th round of the FA Cup has been made. We've got Bournemouth, the Cherries, another Championship side there, taking on Scott Parker's side, who of course, as we know, next season are back in the Premier League. Great job Scott Parker's done to get them back in the top flight for the next season, taking on Manchester United and heading into the game. As we know, big gap on Liverpool heading into this one here. But the Red Devils are so far the only team that have beaten us this season in the Premier League. That was at Stamford Bridge. We lost 3-2. And whilst we're not having the best of seasons, I guess psychologically I was a little bit worried heading into the game. Knowing they've beaten me already this season, the only team to do so. Now we've got them away. Well, Victor Osimhen gave him the lead, just like he did at Stamford Bridge. And then 69 minutes in, that famous, iconic number 7 jersey at Manchester United, Ronaldo's retired. So who's wearing it now? It's their new signing, Italian midfielder, former Roma star, Lorenzo Pellegrini. He's already been named club captain. He bags the second goal for Manchester United. Out of 8 minutes to go, down by 2, a chance to make it 3. And sometimes it's just one of those moments there where you just don't get the luck. Yep, sometimes your luck's in, sometimes your luck's out. We've seen it with a couple of own goals over the past couple of episodes, the luck has been in. But sometimes moments like this, the luck is out. And that's why I'd always say, luck will balance itself out. Yep, Edouard Mendy, I've called him my favourite goalkeeper and the best goalkeeper in FIFA. Not really sure what he's doing there. Yep, he'll want that one back. Doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, we're going to lose the game anyway, but a calamitous, hilarious, really, error from Edouard Mendy. Where he was going for that cross here, I've got no idea. As the Red Devils scored their third, courtesy of Jadon Sancho's tap-in. Final score, 3-0 at Old Trafford. Absolutely humbled. My worst defeat of the season as Chelsea manager. And the proof right there, that whilst we still have the big lead over Liverpool in the table with 16 games to go, they've cut it to 8, as have Manchester City with their new striker Armando Broja. 16 games to go. We still got the big luxury, the big gap, and the goal difference between two. But case in point, after back-to-back losses against Manchester United, the title race is far from over. But that will end today's episode of The Realistic Career Mode, guys. Big thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, if you please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of The Realistic Career Mode. More transfers to ponder, I'm sure, very soon.